Hi, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to wish everybody watching a happy 2021. We're finally out of that godforsaken 2020 that has been so rough on everybody, and I just want to come here and say the best wishes for this year for everyone. I hope this year is different. I hope this year is better. I hope everything is just completely the opposite of 2021, to be honest. So with that being said, I hope you guys have the best year possible, and welcome to my channel. Today I really wanted to sit down and tell you guys about my favorite top makeup for 2020, and actually my most used makeup for 2020. But instead of doing two videos, because I do use drugstore and high-end makeup, I really wanted to combine the two. So for each category, I would be showing you my favorite drugstore makeup and favorite high-end makeup for 2020. And actually these products I still will be using in 2021 because they're just that good. So if you're interested to see my favorites, just keep on watching. Before I jump right in, I just want to remind you guys, if you like this video, if you like my content, just please hit the subscribe button for more. Okay, so I'm just gonna do the categories like how I would normally do my makeup. So on our top spot, we do have primer, and my favorite drugstore primer ever, hydrating, pore filling, mattifying no matter what, it's the E.L.F Poreless Putty Primer. Big shocker, everybody's in love with this primer, but this is just how it looks. It comes in a little unicarton like this, a little screw off top, and inside, I don't know if you can tell, but I've basically been using this all year. I mean, I've almost hit the bottom, which is saying something, because with this product you don't need that much. And I know with poreless filling primers, more people say more is more, but I do really enjoy this primer, and I find it to be very hydrating for some reason while being pore filling, which I love, because no matter if you have oily skin or if you're in a hot climate like I am, a hydrated look makes your makeup look more fresh, less cakey, and this does help your makeup to last long. So I do love this one for drugstore. And another primer which I completely love, but it's just a little pricier, it's on the high-end side of things, is my Milk Makeup HYDROGRIP primer. This stuff is magic for long wearing makeup. I use this whenever I have a wedding or a birthday party or somewhere I want to have my makeup stay a very long time. This does the trick for me, and I do think that this has a dupe, which is the Essence Hydrating Primer, but I don't really find it to be a dupe. A lot of people prefer that one because they say this one ball up on them, but I just think it's the amount of product you would use for this primer. Other than that, this is amazing. It has a very sticky base, so it really makes your foundation adhere to the makeup longer. It's amazing. Okay, so next up we do have foundation, and for foundations, I do like my foundations to be long wearing. No matter the finish, you can have a natural finish, but that doesn't mean that it wouldn't be long wearing. So I really looked for those foundations in 2020 because basically it was just the year of the base makeup, to be honest, because you really wanted to test the product to see if it was transfer proof with your masks and everything. And I really liked my drugstore pick because although it's a more refreshing type of product, a natural finish, a more hyaluronic infused product, it really stayed all day on my skin. And I'm talking about the Profusion Cosmetics Feel Good Skin Longwear Skin Perfector. It just comes in a little squeezy tube like this. Super cute packaging. It does have the rose gold cap. This is a very hydrating, long wearing product. I even find it, I even have a hard time calling this a foundation because it is so dewy, it is so natural on the skin, but it does have medium to full coverage. So it all depends on how much you use for this product, but I do really love this. I mean, it's comparable to my Anastasia Luminous foundation. It's just not as heavy. It's more nourishing to the skin because of that hyaluronic acid, and I think this is $7. So this was definitely my favorite drugstore find overall of 2020. And this is a very nice product to keep in your handbag because it is so compact. So if you need to reapply, or for some reason you just need to touch up with this, it's great for travel. Okay, so for high-end foundations, I don't normally go this heavy with my foundations, but for 2020 I really wanted a foundation that will last well under my mask, and for that my Huda Beauty Full Filter foundation, just looks like this, was my saving grace in 2020 because again it's very long wearing, it's transfer proof, it doesn't transfer onto my mask, and this guy is full coverage. So if it is that you had a birthday party that you did in 2020, or had an event or a wedding or whatever, and you were worried about it transferring onto your mask, this guy here would have done the trick for you. It's really full coverage, it's really long wearing, it is transfer proof, and I just really love the formula because it is a liquid, so it all depends on how much you use to get that full coverage. If you wanted an everyday foundation, I normally just use a half a pump of this and it spreads really well, it doesn't cake up, so I would totally recommend this product to anyone looking for that full coverage foundation. But it is versatile enough to just use a little and get a medium coverage overall. And I do have mine in the shade Tres Leches. I'm sure you guys know what I'm going to say for drugstore concealers because everyone has been loving it. In 2020, E.L.F came out with their hydrating camo concealer. I do have mine in the shade Light Sand, and this guy here is perfect for highlighting, it's perfect for good coverage under the eyes. It is a full coverage concealer, but I love the hydrating version because it's not as drying under the eye like the original camo concealer, which it's not that drying, but this guy here, it's really nourishing to the under eyes, but you still maintain that good full coverage in a concealer. So I've been loving this all year round. I think this was my third bottle that I use, and I love this shade for highlighting. So this is Light Sand, so it has a pretty golden undertone that would cancel out darkness. I am wearing it on my eye today, and as you see, it did a good job canceling the darkness because I do have a 2-year-old and sleep is something of the past, so I really needed a full coverage concealer that wouldn't break the bank, that I can use every day, and this guy really did it for me in 2020. So if you can get your hands on this, I really highly recommend this concealer. And for my high-end pick for concealer, this is just everything. This is just everything. I mean, it's not a matte concealer, it's more natural finish concealer, but I am talking about the Born This Way multi-use sculpting concealer. This is just one and done. You can use this for spot concealing, you can use this all over the face because it does have that creamy consistency. It's not as drying, it's not cakey, it's not matte, and it comes in a huge tube. I mean, comparing it to my E.L.F, I mean, size wise it's like a mini foundation in itself. And I do love the applicator on this as well. It's not as large as the E.L.F one, but it is nice and small to fit right up in the inner corners. I just got foundation on my nose, oh my god. Okay, let's pretend that didn't happen. Anyway, 2021, please be good to me, please be different. No video bloopers this year. Anyway, as I was saying, I do love this concealer. It's a reason it's called multi-use sculpting concealer, because you can use it for your brightening, you can use it as a spot concealer all over the face. It's not drying, it's very creamy, but yet it is long lasting. You just set this down with any of your powders and it works really well with any foundation and powders that I have tried, at least. So this, I highly recommend this as well. It's one of my favorite formulas in face products. It's just so creamy, and Too Faced always does a good job at their complexion products, so I do love this product a lot. Okay, so for powder, this year was the year, actually, why am I keep saying this year? I mean last year was the year of the powder, because you really needed to set everything down. You really needed everything to stay in place. And from my drugstore, the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Loose Trend Setting Powder did that for me. And I think this guy is just $5. It's so great for the price. I mean, it's a huge container. It lasts a really long time, and you just need a tiny bit, and it does the job. It's very smoothing. What can I say? It's a powder, and it's great. For my high-end side, well, I wouldn't really say high-end, but I don't really invest in high-end powders because I find that you can find a lot of good options at the drugstore. So for my more pricey powder, I do have the Haley's Retouch Perfecting Powder. This guy here is magic in a container. You just need a tiny bit on your brush, especially for the on the eyes, and it smooths really well. And you just need a little tiny bit on a brush, and it's very smoothing under the eye and around the T-zone. You don't need much. I don't really use this all over my face. I just use it for under eyes because it's so brightening, it's so pretty, it's so buttery under the eyes, and it's one of my favorite powders. For bronzers, one of my favorite things to do is bronze up the skin because we weren't going anywhere last year and we needed that sun-kissed glow anyway. So for my drugstore bronzers, I really loved the L'Oreal True Match Lumi Bronze It powder. This big guy right here, I do have it in the shade number 2 medium, and it's just a really pretty warm bronzer. If you can see, I did hit pan on this bronzer. That's how much I loved it this year. It's not shiny on the skin, it just gives a pretty luminous glow to the skin. So I really love this bronzer this year. And an honorable mention to my old favorite, which is the Milani Silky Matte Bronzing Powder, and I do have this in the shade 03 Suntan, and this is my creamiest bronzer. So any one of these did the trick for me, and I just really love this color. It's not as warm, it's more neutral toned, which I love in a bronzer. I don't like when a bronzer is too warm or unnatural to the skin. I just really like to give it that sun-kissed glow, and I am wearing my Milani bronzer all over my face today, and I do love this one. This is a favorite. My high-end bronzers, honestly, I didn't find a powdered high-end bronzer that I loved last year, but the Fenty cream bronzer, last year was everything to me. The packaging, the color, everything. I have mine in the shade 04 Honey Glaze, and the color is just warm, creamy deliciousness. It goes on super smooth, so easy to blend out. You don't need to work hard with this bronzer at all. It buffs out really nice, and I normally set it with my Lumi bronzer just to give it a little bit more glow. But I do love this on a more natural day. It's not that pigmented that you would lose control or it gets muddy or you wouldn't be able to blend it out properly. I really love this formula, and it's one of my favorite cream bronzers, hands down. Fenty does a really good job with their bronzers. For highlight this year, my favorite highlight for the drugstore has been the Essence Pure Nude Highlighter. This guy here is everything. I have it in the shade 10, be my highlight. It's so natural, it's so beautiful on the skin. I think a lot of skin tones would get away with using this color in particular because it's a warm champagne. And I mean, swatches doesn't do it justice. It's more of a lit from within bronzer. Hear me, bronzer, a lit from within highlight, but it just gives the glowiest look to the skin. I am wearing it today on the cheeks. As you can see, it's not harsh, it's not just a streak on my face. It's very glowy, it's very lit from within, and it's very natural. So I've been loving this for everyday purpose, and I think this guy is what, $2, so this is everything. For my favorite high-end highlighting, I do have a highlighter palette. This is the Glazed Lit Kit by L'Oreal Los Angeles. And I don't even want to open this because this is a well-loved highlighter. I mean, I'm scared that it'll just fall out at this point because, oh my god. Here she is right here. As you can see, I hit pan on the second shade Glow Gal. It's my favorite highlight, formula, color, everything. It's just so beautiful on the skin. It blends and soaks into your skin and becomes one with everything, and it's very glowy, so you can't get into that beaming spotlight type of highlight, or you can have it more natural. It's just so pretty, and it comes with the perfect 4 shades including a blush topper. So I love everything about that palette. I mean, for the money, I would buy it again in a heartbeat. For blush, I've been loving, and this is another well-loved product. It's my Profusion Blush 3 palette. This looks like this. It comes with pretty wearable shades. It's right there. Has more peachy tones, nude tones, and it's great for everyday. And the pigment is there, but it's not like a pigment that sticks to your skin. It's really blendable. It's really creamy. As you can see, I have it on my cheeks here today. I just have the mauve tone right up here. And this palette is so amazing. It's me in a blush palette because I love the peachy orangey tones with my skin tone. So I've been loving this, and it is drugstore, it is affordable, and it's so pretty. For blush, I don't really have any high-end blushes to talk about because honestly I've just been using that palette all year round. So I don't have any high-end blushes, which is weird to me. But I don't. I've just been loving my drugstore blushes. It does the job. It's so pretty. It's so glowy. So moving right along to eyeshadow. The moment everybody's been waiting for, because I know everybody loves eyeshadow palettes. So for my drugstore eyeshadow palette, surprise, surprise, it's a ColourPop palette, and it's the Bare Necessities palette from ColourPop. It's just this guy right here. Super pretty packaging. It's like snake skin on the outside, and inside it's just everything you'd ever need in a palette. You have your light tones, your neutral tones, your deep tones, your pretty sparkly colors in here. It's just pretty. This is what I'm wearing on my eyes today. It's super easy to use for a quick everyday glam. It's a really loved palette, and I recommend this palette to anyone if they can get their hands on it, because you have your cool tones, your neutrals, and your warm tones in here. And I just think it's such an amazing palette. It's so versatile, and you can't really beat ColourPop's formula for the price. So highly recommend this palette. For my high-end palettes, I just couldn't choose one, which says a lot. I mean, high-end really did their work with their eyeshadow palettes this year. My hands down most used high-end palette for this year has been the NATASHA DENONA bronze palette. It's just this guy right here. Such a pretty warm tone wearable palette. And as you can see, I think I've used every shade in this palette, and it can be the packaging with NATASHA DENONA. And it is a reusable palette, so you can pop out shadows, mix them around, mix and match. It's just so pretty, it's so versatile, and I would say this is my favorite palette of 2020. She did a really good job with this palette, and it is a pretty expensive palette, but it is a gem in my collection. My second favorite palette for 2020 is the Pat McGrath what the hell did I just say? The Pat McGrath Labs Mothership Mega Celestial Divinity eyeshadow palette. That's a mouthful, Pat. But this palette is so pretty. It's so gorgeous. These are all the colors in there. You have some pretty jewel tones, sparkly shimmers. It's just super special. This is the most special palette of 2020 in my opinion. It's just so beautiful. This is definitely a must-have in my collection. Every time I go in with a smoky matte look, I just top it with one of these shadows and it takes it to the next level. It's super affordable for Pat McGrath. This palette is only $72 or $75, and her palettes are normally $130 something. So for this much shadows in such a gorgeous packaging for the quality, this is amazing. And my third and last high-end favorite palette for 2020 has to be the Mercury Retrograde palette from Huda Beauty. This is so gorgeous. If you love purples, if you love pinks, this is it right here, girl. Oh my goodness. Look at those shadows right there. They're so special. This formula is very bouncy. It's very creamy. The shimmers goes on out of this world amazing. And you do have your neutrals in here, so you can definitely have the most use out of this palette. It's so special to me. I don't have anything looking like this in my collection, and I truly do love Huda Beauty's quality of shadows. Next, what do we have next? I think we have lips. Actually, no. Let's talk about some mascaras. My favorite drugstore mascara this year, and it's what I'm wearing on my eyes today. It's more natural. It's so easy to come off, which is one of the things I look for in a mascara, is the Maybelline Lash Sensational mascara. It's just so good. If you've never tried this mascara, I do highly recommend you try it. It's so voluminous and lengthening. I don't have much to work with, and this gives me a little something for a daily mascara lash kind of look. So I do love this one a lot. And my favorite high-end mascara is no other than the Pat McGrath Labs Dark Star mascara. I mean, the packaging on this alone, is so special. It's so pretty with the gold and the pink writing. And if you want length and volume in one, this guy here will do it for you. This makes my lashes look like falsies, like a natural false lash, which I love because I'm not a lash wearer. So this really gives me that lash fantasy, if you know what I mean. It's so pretty, it's so gorgeous, and I would buy this again in a heartbeat. Love it. My most used lip in 2020 is not really a lipstick, but it's my ColourPop cream gel lip liners. As you can see, I have all of them here. I normally just put on my lip liner and I put a gloss over it and I'm done, and it does the job for me. I have it in every color you would ever want on your lips, and I can't rave about these enough. They do have it in a bundle, and it's so creamy, it's so special, it doesn't break. It's a sharpened kind of product, so it's not a retractable that can dry out. So it's so pretty and long lasting. I can't say good enough things about this, and it is more affordable. So love ColourPop's lip liner formula. For high end, I do have a lipstick to mention, and I've been wearing this all the time. It's the lipstick I'm wearing on my mouth today. It's the KVD Beauty Hawk Wind Studded Kiss Cream Lipstick. This looks like this, and it's this pretty brown terracotta like shade. It's so pretty to me. It's such a neutral color. It goes with more dramatic looks, it goes with my natural looks, and I love it. It just popped this totally natural everyday look and took it to another level. It's my favorite lipstick of 2020, and that's saying a lot. I do love my lipsticks. For gloss, the gloss I've been loving this year, well, last year, it's my Essence Shine 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 Wet Look Lip Gloss, and I just have this shade in 01 behind the scenes. It's the clear, but as you can see, this is another loved product. Even the applicator is more pink. It's ruined the clear look, but I love it so much. It makes your lips look so juicy, so glossy. It's not sticky at all, and the only thing I would change about this product is the scent. I really wish if it was scentless, but what can you do? I think this guy is like $1 or $2, and it just gives you that super wet, super shiny, glossy look, and I love it. High-end glosses, my favorite I know a lot of people love Fenty, but with the Fenty gloss bombs, I don't like the amount of glitter that is in it. It does irritate my lips. If I smack my lips together, I feel the glitter cutting my lips. I don't know if anybody else has experienced that with the Fenty gloss bombs, but it does it to me. So I was really excited when she came out with her cream version of it, because that doesn't have any glitter inside. But enough about Fenty. Favorite high-end lip gloss of 2020 was definitely the Kylie lip gloss, and this is in the shade Clear. It's their high gloss formula. It's just a pretty wearable everyday pink, but it does go on more sheer on the lips. It is in the shade Clear, and this is something special. This gloss lasts almost all day without reapplying, and it just makes your lips look so juicy, so glossy, so special. So I do love Kylie's high gloss formula, so definitely recommend. Okay, for brows, I don't know about you, but everybody has been jumping on the Glossier brow train, and it's for good purpose, because this duo right here, this boy brow and this brow flick, is everything you'll ever need in your brows. I bought this last year January, and it's still going today. This creates the perfect laminated brow strokes if you have super thin brows and you need to, you know, make it more voluminous or draw in those fake hairs. This is perfect for that. The applicator is super fine, so you can get that really false hair kind of look. And then I normally set it with my boy brow in the shade Black, and my brows stay on all day, all night. I really have to get in there with my makeup remover and cleanser to get it off, and I love this duo a lot. And last but not least is my setting spray. And for this category, I don't have a high-end setting spray because I have been loving my drugstore options, and it's the Milani Make It Last. If you can see, I barely have anything left in here. It's a little tiny bit. And my Morphe Continuous Setting Spray, which is almost done as well. So I have been loving these two. Depends on what I want to go for. I love the Morphe for a more glowy look to the skin, and my Milani Make It Last for a more mattified look for the skin. But these two makes your makeup stay all day. Okay guys, so that's it for my video. If you love this video and you love the products mentioned, I'll be sure to list it down below. Please remember to subscribe, like, and comment, and get to know me some more. I can't wait to get to know you guys better in 2021. And again, I wish you guys the best year possible. So with that being said, thank you for watching, and see you in my next video. Bye.